back to the American Style. My name is Mimi and this is Alangkan and we'll be your host for today.
Wait, am I not the host and aren't you the hostess?
Well, I'd rather be called a host because the word hostess can be interpreted in different ways. One may relate the word hostess to a bar hostess. Such examples of this gender distinctive words include
Master,
mistress,
waiter,
waitress,
actor.
actress.
Who says English is a non-sexist language? Ladies and gentlemen, or gentlemen and gentlewomen, today we're going to discuss labels that both men and women face.
It is a somewhat serious issue where words from others define who we are. You know the saying, sticks and stones may break my bones, but words will never hurt me.
That is one of the most inaccurate sayings of all times. Sticks and stones may give us physical scratches that may take a week to heal, but words can give people emotional scars that can take months to heal.
Everyone faces sets of words that define our gender roles and how we fit into the society. But some of these words are direct insults to our gender.
For men, we're tired of being called a male chauvinist pig. This term was used in the 1960s by feminists who want to give a name to the so-called patriarchy. Just because we're men doesn't mean we want to oppress women, and it doesn't mean that we see ourselves as the superior gender. And we should not be called a catcalling misogynistic pig just because we give women a compliment based on their appearance. Unfortunately, in today's first world countries, men are labeled as perverted people and rapists.
When can we stop labeling men as beings who are motivated by sexual pleasure? These terms suggest that male lives on a sexual adventure to gather women as their trophies. So ladies, whenever a man compliments you for your appearance, they don't imply that he wants to rape you. He's just being a gentleman.
Now let's move on to the double standards that women face.
Let's look at this scenario. So when a man wants to have sex for pleasure, the society dismisses that as a normal phenomenon. However, when a woman does the same, the society labels her as a slut. Using the word slut would be fine if it was used 1,600 years ago, but today it is considered to be one of the derogatory words that is used to insult women. The word slut originates in the 5th century Old English, meaning messy or dirty. It was used to describe servants, but by the 15th century, it was used to describe promiscuous women.
In the context of a modern society, whenever the word slut is used, it implies that a woman needs a man to survive in society. It suggests that a woman cannot do anything for herself and only have her body to sell. This sort of term is oppressing to women.
As you can see, a word may have several definitions. One tends to define a word differently according to the context it is used or one's cultural background. The word pussy, if said by a character from cartoons like Baby Looney Tunes or Bugs Bunny, would mean a cat. Well, the word puss appeared to be a call name from languages such as Dutch or German, and the word means feminine, young woman, prostitute, or a madame. So when it comes to slangs, society decided to use the word metonymically, relating it to sexual intercourse and women's genitals. It is also often used in place of the word or the phrase coaliga.
It also happens with the terms scumbag and douche or douchebag, which are euphemisms used towards men. However, they're almost used playfully today. They both mean unpleasant men who have committed unpleasant acts or dishonest acts. The connotation of scum in scumbag means a layer of dirt, and a douche actually means a cleaning device used to clean female genitalia. These terms suggest that men can be the lowest of all beings comparable to dirt. If guys knew what those terms really mean, they wouldn't use them on their friends.
As for women, we get called a skank or a gold digger.
A woman gets called a skank when it is assumed that she's being dependent on a man for financial security. Its connotation is slut or an unhygienic person.
And the term gold digger describes a woman who marries a man for his wealth, but doesn't love him. It gives women a bad rap for having to rely on a man.
Because a word may sound similar to another word or have different meanings, words may reinforce gender stereotypes. Earlier, Mimi mentioned the term metonymy. A metonymy is a figure of speech, a word that is used to replace another word in a different context. Lend me your ears is a famous saying from Mark Antony, which is a metonymy. We use metonymies every day in our daily lives without even noticing, such as, hey Mimi, after this presentation, can you give me a hand and take those textbooks to the book room?
Sure. After that, do you want to grab something to eat, perhaps a dish or two?
The phrase give me a hand is used instead of help me, and the word dish is used to replace a plate of food. An example that is more related to gender distinction is when a man backs out of a manly activity and his friends would say, hey man, don't be a pussy. Metonymies are sometimes represented by derogatory terms that define our gender roles.
Gender roles are the appropriate behaviors that the society believes to be suitable for a male or a female. Gender roles are shaped by the society. For women, we're expected to be caregivers, and all we're good at is cooking and cleaning the house. We're expected to find a husband to take care of us because we're weak. Men are seen as the protector of the family, and society expects them to never complain about the hard labor they experience. Men are expected to sacrifice their time, and sometimes their lives, for their family or to prove them their self-worth.
Now we're going to see how Amanda Gates, a high school English teacher, thinks about the adjectives that are used to describe both women and men. Hey Amanda, how are you? What terms do you think are used to describe women and men?
Descriptive words that describe women, such as focused, organized, passionate, whereas there are other terms that describe men, such as powerful, leader, respectful, and sometimes we don't pick our adjectives to describe the individual, and instead we're trying to describe a characteristic of gender or a stereotype about gender.
Thank you, Amanda. We have one more question for you. So, in your daily life, do you happen to notice any differences between how men and women use language?
Well, I think that when men and women have conversations, they do so in different ways. The structure of their use of language is different. For example, women tend to use words that are somewhat more hesitant than men in conversations, and men tend to interrupt more than women do in conversations. Also, women tend to use the word I more often in conversations. There have been a couple studies about the use of I, and when people feel like they need to project a sense of confidence, they often use the word I. And there's an interesting study that was done counting how many times in a conversation men and women interrupted each other and how many times men and women used pronoun I. And they found in the study that women tended to pause and make eye contact and look for a response from their male partners who they were conversing with.
Thank you for your contributions to the language aspects of gender, Amanda. I would like to make a brief expansion on this topic. According to Mary Crawford's book, Talking Differences on Gender and Language, the objective of male language usage is to dominate, to attract attention, and to assert themselves. For women, they use language to maintain good relationships, to maintain equality, to give others constructive criticism, and to interpret other women's emotions based on other women's speech. And this correlates to what Amanda just mentioned. She says that if women and men were to have a conversation, men would want to dominate the conversation, while women just want a cohesive conversation with equality. Mimi, do you think these languages contribute to our differences in gender?
I do believe it does. that because men often have the initiative to assert themselves and dominate, it gives them more of the upper hand in leadership roles, which is beneficial to get high-paying jobs. While for women, the way we converse rely heavily on emotions and, just like what Amanda said, responsiveness from the other person they're conversing with. This cohesive conversation puts women in the role of taking care of a child because women can interpret others' emotions very well.
Well, I hope one day both women and men can embrace both gender roles as the caretaker and the breadwinner. In fact, there are movements such as feminism and the LGBT rights movements that are changing social roles today. There's also documentaries such as Tough Guys, which emphasize the destructive behavior of manhood and encourages boys to show more emotions, or campaigns like Ban Bossy, which encourages girls to take on leadership roles.
Yes, I hope that these movements can make social changes for both men and women. Well, our time is up. Thank you for joining us today on American Style.
See you next Friday.